Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Anna and it has been quite a while since I've been on here to talk planners with you guys. I have been in a bit of a weird place with my planning and journaling system and life, and I have plans to film a full mid-year Techo Kaigi where I'm going to basically go through everything that I have touched this year, which is unfortunately quite a bit. Honestly, a disturbing amount of different journals and planning systems and attempts to organize the chaos in my brain. But that is not what we're doing today. Today I am going to be setting up my personal rings. If you have been here before, you may remember that I was in personal rings at the end of last year. And I absolutely love personal rings, but yeah, I loved personal rings. It is probably the happiest I have been in a planner in a long time. It felt very right, and rings are just incredibly nostalgic to me because that is where I got my start in planner videos on YouTube. Those were the first videos I was watching, is Filofax and faux Filofax videos, like from, gosh, how long has it been? Would have been like 2010, 2011 I was watching these videos. So yeah, so I love Filofax, I love rings, but I left this because I get really caught up in the Hobonichi hype every year. I love Hobonichi in theory. I love the designs of Hobonichi, but in practice it doesn't really work out for me. I have yet to finish a Hobonichi. I've yet to stick with a Hobonichi for more than like 6 months at a time. But I bought all of my Hobonichi stuff, and so I moved out of this to that. And also something about rings, the brilliance of rings, right, is obviously that you can move stuff around, take stuff out, put stuff in. Nothing has to stay exactly in place. But for me, that also created this feeling of impermanence. And I was using the rings I was using basically Lindsay Scribble's system as kind of my starting place. That I plan to then, adapt as I got comfortable. But part of that was doing memory keeping in the rings. And I very quickly realized, well, I actually enjoyed it, and I was probably memory keeping and writing down more than I ever do because I just love being in here. Something about it felt very dissatisfying, and the impermanence was making me anxious. Obviously, I know there are like archive binders out there. There are systems to keep your pages in place once they come out of your rings, to keep them forever or however long you want. But I just, something about it just was not sitting right with me. I am definitely more comfortable keeping my journaling, my memory keeping in like a bound book. So that was a big part of why I left this. The other part was I just didn't find a weekly system that I wanted to use in here. Okay, no, that's a lie. The other part is that every year, again with the Hobonichi hype, is I see people's Hobonichi weeks, and I'm like, they are so cute. I want one. I want to use one. And every year, I've had one for like 2 years, but you know what I mean. No, I think I've had 3 years worth of Hobonichis that have not worked out for me because I think they're so cute. The size is just, I think, adorable and perfect until I start using it, and then it's too big but too small. And the form, I think, is right. I love that, like the week notes page, but I don't know. There's something happens every year where it just does not click with my brain when I actually start using it. But so I ditched this as a planner because I was like, oh, I'm gonna go into the Hobonichi weeks. Anyway, basically Hobonichi tricks me every year, and I ditch things that actually work for my brain. But we're back now. So this planner is the one that I bought November 2024. It is, I do refer to it often as my Filofax, just for the simplicity of my brain and also talking to my husband. But as you can see, it is definitely not a Filofax. It is, in fact, a very cheap faux leather rings binder that I got for literally $5 on Amazon. It was, I think, on Black Friday, so I think it might actually be 10, you know, pretty pricey. I'm not sure how big these rings are. They're not very, I want to say not super big though. I actually have no idea how big they are. I wonder if they say anywhere. So this is kind of basically where it was, I left it last year when I got out of it, as well as a couple new things that I printed recently. Unfortunately, I printed them off my phone and the size is just a disaster because apparently it did not print it real size. But we are gonna go ahead and set this guy up now. I am using this right now is going to be solely planning. Maybe jotting down some daily logging, memory keeping stuff if I have this out and about. That will then get moved to where I'm memory keeping at the end of the day. But the idea is for this to theoretically be an entire binder that I can just throw in the trash at the end of the year. That is my goal with this, because then that solves the impermanence but still allows me to exist within the system. That makes my brain very happy. Coffee reheated. So let's get into this. I don't personally like to do decorations over here. I might find some stuff to stick in here. I'll probably move some stuff in here. Right now all I have are these little dot stickers that are from Techo. I use these randomly, basically. And the first page I have is an inbox. This is from Sleepy Notes Club, who also is probably the reason I ended up in rings in the first place, because her systems were just so cute. Sorry. This is one of the pages that I just reprinted, and I printed it too big, so I'm probably gonna I'm gonna reprint it because it is bothering me. It looks awful. And then I have, let's see, what else is in here? This got moved. Some of this stuff got moved around because my kids like knocked the whole thing off the table at one point while it was open. These are from Lindsay Scribbles. These are her meal planning pages. I actually really like them. They did print out weirdly because I think I was running out of ink. So like these are supposed to be like checkered, or I think these are supposed to have grid. I'm not sure. I do want to keep, I think I want to print more of these out. I almost bought a meal planning page from Filofax, but it was like 2 weeks, or it was 2 pages for 1 week. And that's just unnecessary in my opinion. Although it did have like breakfast, lunch, dinner for every day, where this just is like a tiny box for lunch and dinner. But I think that this is sufficient for my life. I think I will print out more of these. And then this is another Lindsay Scribbles page. This is her monthly annual, I think is what she calls it. So it has all the months of the year and then like all the days. I was originally using this for tracking sleep and my cycle. And then this, I believe, is Peanut's Planner Co. I think this is a freebie, her year at a glance. And I was using this for a no spin tracker. That was something else I was using my little dots for. And I do think I will go back to doing this because I should put myself on a low spend for the rest of the year. We're moving to Hawaii and it's just, it's a pain and it's kind of expensive. Even the things that like my husband's in the military, so the military pays to do the move, but there's just so much stuff that they don't pay for, like getting our cats vet stuff together. We do essentially have to pay for everything up front, like hotel wise, and then we get reimbursed, but that could take months. So I just like to have money in the bank to pay for those credit cards in case the military doesn't come through, because they don't always. And then I made these just out of scrapbook paper I had. I do have plans to change these. And then just a yearly, monthly calendar. This again is Peanut's Planner Co. I did decide to stick with this versus buying a new one from Filofax, but yeah, just the monthlies. And then these trackers are Sleepy Notes Club. I am debating whether I want to use these or continue using the Lindsay Scribbles ones. I like that this is like the entire year on a single page. That is satisfying. But at the same time, I do like the idea of starting fresh every month and like getting to create something for a specific month. So we'll see. I might just do both for a little bit. So this is a sleep tracker with, you can add like a color so you know, can track like how many hours you're getting. A fitness tracker, activity, a calendar to plan your activity, and then a habit tracker for 2 habits. These are, I want to say, her health bundle on her Etsy. It's something like health bundle. But yeah, I did like this. I did use these for like 2 months before I switched to the Lindsay Scribble ones. I just need to reprint them in the correct size. And then this is also Sleepy Notes Club. This is her health log that I was using previously. Okay. And then weeklies, back in the day, my kids, I was using Lindsay Scribbles Rolling Weekly, which I love. I will probably keep the rest of these in here. I only have a few more in here. I actually love these so much. So I will probably keep them to brain dump tasks at the start of a week. But I did not like having to plan things like drawing a line like this to the date. I would prefer to have like actual boxes, which is why I do like the Hobonichi weeks. And I'm kind of regretting because I got a week on 2 pages for Filofax, and I kind of wish that I had gotten the week in notes page to recreate my Hobonichi weeks in the Filofax. And then dailies were just, I don't know what she calls these. These are Lindsay Scribbles. Again, so I was doing tasks and then just journaling, memory keeping at the bottom. And I love doing this. Actually, I really loved being in here. So I have a bunch of pages left, which I'll probably just keep as notes pages in here. And then in the back was actually notes. We have Manacled, which I'm very excited for Alchemist to come out soon. And this was just random notes, so like fanfics that I want to read, which I'm gonna have to move that again. I've moved this list like 4 times now to different journals. And then just random notes. These are like paper that I think came with my planner. It's so incredibly thick in a bad way. So I'll be happy to take this stuff out. Yeah. The only thing that's going to stay in here is my fanfic I want to read. Just 'cause, in fact, I probably won't even. I'll probably rewrite it. Oh, in the back here, I think I have some planned. I was going to use these pages in the back here for some project planning. These were planning some fanfic binds. So fanfics I like to bind. But yeah, so that is everything that I was doing in the planner back in the day. So now let us go ahead and talk about what I got to fill this guy up. So the first thing I went with was the week on 2 pages. I, again, went back and forth between the week on 1 page with notes and the week on 2 pages. I went with this solely one for aesthetic purposes because I went on Pinterest for a while and kind of just saved a bunch of things to see like what was drawing my mind and my brain. And it was stuff like this where I could just write like largely like things that I need to do, general tasks, places I need to be on each day. And yeah, honestly, aesthetic purposes. Again, I think Sleepy Notes Club uses this kind of setup in her planner, and that is who was drawing me back to the Filofax, the rings. So that's a big part of it. Also, I mean, we're halfway through the year, so if this is not working for me, I know I don't have to suffer through it for too long. And I do have, again, the rolling weeklies that I will probably just like pull back in if necessary to supplement these. What else? And then the other thing I got is 1 day on 2 pages, which is a big change for me. So this is what it looks like. So you have on one side times, you could use that for times or just like notes, a task list, and then a notes list at the bottom. I love that it has, is it just French and English? That is actually so satisfying because Filofax sometimes has like 4 languages on it. French is my main other language that I'm like learning, that I've learned through my life. I don't speak French. I don't want to say it. The way I said that made it sound like I speak French. I don't speak French. My French is awful, but I do know French. So I like that of all the languages I picked to pair, French is a good one pour moi. What is happening here? This is like, oh, okay, so for Saturday and Sunday you only get the 1 page though. That's kind of annoying. That is really annoying, but that's fine, I suppose. I suppose that's fine in the sense that it exists, so it has to be fine, but I'm excited to use these. This is, again, I think because Sleepy Notes Club uses a similar setup, but from, I think, Franklin Covey for her planner. And again, I think that this will be good. I want to try to get back into. I did this like in college, actually hourly planning out my day in advance, simply because my time just disappears. I don't know where it goes. And then a task list, obviously ideal. And then I can do just random logging where necessary to help me fill in my memory planner in the future. I also grabbed some just ruled notebook paper to have in the back. I don't love ruled paper, honestly. This was a very impulsy buy, but I do like ruled paper. Like, I don't hate it. I don't know why I got this. Honestly, it's just because I'm so particular. I don't like dot grid, and I'm very particular about grid size, and I feel like American grid sometimes is just awful. So that's what I went with this instead, because ruled I can tolerate just about no matter what it looks like. It's just not my favorite. And the last thing I got are these like pouches. This is why I always look at things online more closely, because I thought that these were I'm gonna have to put them upside down, which is fine. I thought they were top loading, but they're not. They're meant for cash, I believe, is like their theoretical idea, but I'm gonna use them for dividers and just like dashboards. But one side is like frosted, which is like okay for storing stuff, but the other side isn't, so I'll probably just flip them around the other side. So I want to stick like pictures and cute stuff in here for my dividers. I don't have anything printed out for that yet, so we'll do that at the end, possibly later today. But yeah, these are just, again, something that I found on Amazon. Let's go ahead and set this up, and we will come back and decorate it at the end. I'm like, do I just take everything out? I think I'm gonna take everything out. Okay. It's so naked. It's like weird. Start by putting some of this paper in the back. I wasn't sure if I'm like, I don't know how much is a appropriate amount of paper. I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about a Filofax paper. I need to find my pen. Let's see. This is the main pen that I've been using lately. It's an Energel Klena in 0.38. Okay. It's like a pretty nice smooth. It's like not too thick, but it's not like terribly thin. Like this is just regular like printer paper. And this is much smoother like this. You can kind of feel that grittiness of paper, and this is nice and smooth. So, and it like feels nice and thin still, but it has more, I guess, structure than this. Like if you see, like this is much floppier. So I like that. Okay, stick some of that back there. And then I think I'm gonna stick some of the Lindsay Scribbles, just like grid pages back here too. Just to have on hand. I think I might actually use one of these as my inbox right now. Like instead of printing a new inbox, just take that and use it as an inbox in the front. Okay, I don't know why I closed the rings. So let's go ahead and put this guy back here. So you can just, there we go. Cool, piece of good size. Okay, we'll decorate that at a later date. And then it would be my daily pages. I'm not sure how many daily pages I want to try to put in. Let's figure out where we are in the year here. July 30, is it the 31st? Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Well, we need this one, don't we? Okay. Like, the problem with the dailies is just like how much space they take up. Let's see if we can fit all of August in here. We'll see what it looks like once it's like full. 'Cause I think that might be too much. And then another page. Let's grab the next one up. I love that I started at the bottom instead of the top for the thing, so they're gonna not reach the top. Oh, that one is actually the same size as that. Fascinating. There must be two of each size? No, I don't think that's true. That's weird. Oh yeah, there's two of each size of tab. I can get these stickies to go through. I have to pop some of these out. And then weekly, I know, I'm like, how does a planner work? Grab some of the weeklies. This is another one where I'm like, I guess definitely I could fit easily a full month because it's like only a couple pages. August. Weird if I just put a half of this week. And then I guess we'll put all of this first week of September. So weird, like, is this different paper? I feel like they're different papers. I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, that, and then another tab, perhaps? I don't even know. I'm like, do I want another tab? I feel like I'm gonna have to take out some of the dailies. This is getting too thick for me. I don't like it when it's like overflowing. And then my monthlies over here somewhere in this disaster. All of this stuff from the month. I could take out the part of the year that's already happened. I could do that. Okay. Ah! Just smacked the crap out of the camera. Yeah, so I don't know if I want to take out the part of the year that's already happened. I suppose that makes more sense somehow. And then yeah, because I don't currently think that another, I'm gonna have to take some of the dailies out, I think. So right now I don't think another whatever it's called, another divider is gonna fit on top of this. I don't know how people live with their rings like overflowing like this. Gives me anxiety. Okay, and then I'm gonna replace this guy as my inbox. Okay. Or I could take out some of the note pages, I suppose. I don't know if I would rather have a full month of dailies, or I'm gonna take out some of these note pages. I don't have that much of that. Okay. I mean, I definitely think that these are smaller rings. I would prefer bigger rings, but that is that. Okay, I'm gonna rewrite the stuff on this inbox right now. This is Lindsay Scribbles does very small grid, which I both love. But it's just very different than other things. So I like the small grid. When I'm in the habit of using the small grid, I love it. But right now, Rex. So when I'm in the habit of using the small grid, I love it, but I'm kind of out of the habit of using it. I've been using like a Moleskine, which is a much larger grid. So this is kind of a bit of a shock to the system. Or even this is the Travelers Company. Let's see. The Travelers Company grid is like 2 boxes to one of Lindsay Scribbles. Yeah. So let's see if we can put another one of these guys in the front here now to have like as a...
Mom.
I might just put, I don't know if I want to put something entire.
Hello, editing Anna here. As you can probably tell, I did not exactly finish filming this video. I filmed it over a month ago now, but I wanted to just go ahead and edit it and post it. As I mentioned in, I think, last week's video, I am currently in the process of moving. I'm gonna be living in a hotel for a couple months, so I've like taken the content where I have the content. Essentially, I was done obviously setting up the planner. I was going to do probably a flip through, but that never came to be. I would show you now, except I am no longer in the Filofax system. I'm not using personal rings anymore. I have a problem. But more on that, and hopefully a future video where I can show you what I am currently using. It might be this. This is a new thing as of today because I, again, have problems. Anyway, thank you so much for watching my setup of this personal rings. The personal rings is a system that obviously I said I love. I will probably come back to it at some point. It's just not what I'm wanting in my life at this exact moment. Thank you so much for watching the video, and hope you have a fantastic day. Bye.